Hey everybody, it's Matt from Junior Horror Movies, and welcome to another Top 10 Tuesday. This one I'm doing another documentary Tuesday one. I've already done a horror documentary before, a while back, and I'm going to bring you another part 2 of horror documentaries that should be in people's collections. Documentaries are very cool. Get to learn a lot of things. You find things about other films you probably never knew about, based on live events or like stories on filming and everything. So without further ado, here's part 2 of my horror documentary Top 10 Tuesday. Alright, number 10 is, sorry for the glare, Godzilla and Other Movie Monsters. This one would have been a lot higher on the list, but it takes starting off as a bunch of dinosaur movies and all dinosaur stuff, so it was kind of okay. We'll go past the dinosaur part, get with the kaiju, but that's what they did, and it wasn't bad. It runs you 100 minutes for this documentary, and it's actually got some cool special features right there. The rap song, good old Bambi versus Godzilla, you know, those kind of things. But this should be in everyone's collection, especially if you're into Godzilla movies or kaiju. This is definitely a must. So that's what at number 10. Yeah, a little more room there. Number 9. Took a long time to get here, but it was actually really cool. It's actually put out by Legless Corpse, which is kind of weird that they put this out, and that is Magnetic Highway: The Rise and Fall and Resurgence of the Independent Video Store. Pretty much it's about this dude who's going country to country visiting old video stores that are still around today. They're actually booming. They have a lot of people coming in renting movies that are still doing it, which is awkward. And they talk a lot about horror films and everything. And it just brings back memories back when I was little, going into the VHS stores and picking up movies, going to the going to the grocery store, and there's the VHS center, running over there and looking at all the horror sections. So this is very educational and very interesting how this was done. If you can find a copy of this, I highly recommend grabbing it, especially if you're doing documentaries. Magnetic Highway, really well done. So the guy is in his car and he's going from this point to this point, stopping at other video stores, buying VHS. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And number 8 is another one, VHS Massacre. This one is pretty much put out by Troma, actually, a Troma documentary. That's another one about the rise and fall of physical media, and this was actually well done too. Actually, these are all well done. But anyway, this is like I said, put out by Troma itself. So you got a lot of interviews with Troma casts, with Lloyd Kaufman and everything. They're talking about how, you know, the boom of VHS happened, then it declined, and it came up again. Now it's on a downfall. Now it's actually coming up because people are collecting VHS more. Excuse me. But the documentary is very, again, educational itself. Brings back memories again, going to VHS stores and everything. Pretty cool little documentary, guys. Highly recommend checking out VHS Massacre, the rise and decline of physical media. And to me, I don't think physical media is dying. I think it's still doing great. Like companies like Vinegar Syndrome, Scream Factory, Severin, and all them are putting out so obscure films or older films that already have releases and putting them out better quality. People are buying them up, so physical media is not dying. Alright. Number 7 is called Penny Pinchers. I just watched this today. This was actually really good. Put out by SRS Cinema. This is the king of non-budget horror. So pretty much what this is all low-budget horror films. Lloyd Kaufman is in everything. I swear to God, that guy is everywhere. But they interview a ton of low-budget directors and how they got into filming low-budget films. Again, you don't see these in theaters as much, unless maybe you get some film circuits here and there. But here's some interviews like with Todd Sheets, Don Farmer, Tim Ritter, a whole bunch of others as well, as you can see. And they actually show some of the scenes from their films, how shot in video they are, how badly they're made, but they're Great films to find. Again, there's a scene where they're all collecting VHS. I swear to God, it's all VHS. And they're all trying to find the most rare VHS together or showing off their collection. It's actually pretty cool, guys. Check out SRS Cinema's website and pick up penny pinchers if you're into documentaries. I love the artwork. The artwork is pretty sick. So yeah. So let's see. 6 is the Amityville Confidential. This was actually in a box set that came out with the Amityville 1, 2, and 3, and it came out with this version too in that box set. I never owned that box set. I just found this by itself just to have it in my collection. And it's pretty neat because it does the History Channel, Amityville: The Haunting, and then it has another History Channel of horror or hoax, and you have On Location. So you have some pretty cool little documentaries on here. Again, this was only in that box set, but you could probably go on Amazon or eBay to find this separate. I recommend it. I love how it looks like a folder. You got the whole paper clip, the whole folder set up. Again, I never had that box set, but I bought this just to have in the collection. I don't think this is in the Scream Factory box set. I have the box set. I was going through it earlier. I didn't see it on here. I could be wrong, but just kind of cool to have on a standalone DVD. Some good stuff on the Amityville Horror too. They actually got some good storylines with the History Channel. So if you're Amityville, there you go. Number 5. This was a little harder to find. This is Lovecraft, The Fear of the Unknown. Pretty much a documentary on H.P. Lovecraft. This one has a lot of interviews with John Carpenter, Del Toro, a bunch of others. So it's all pretty much based on H.P. Lovecraft, the stories that he wrote, and then later on how a lot of these became feature films. Keep an eye on this on Amazon. Sometimes I just had it on my wish list forever, and then also it popped up expensive, then also one did pop up pretty cheap, so I snagged it. It's got this weird Blu-ray disc case. But other than that, pretty cool documentary. I think this is BDR. And inside, gotta do this one-handed, which I freaking hate doing. And I don't think it's pressed. Oh, it is pressed, and the disc is not the greatest because I bought this used, but it plays fine. Hope I can get a cloth or something to get it a little more cleaned up. I hate when you buy used discs and they all have prints on them. They still play. Number 4 is Unconventional. My friend bought this for me as a gift. And I just sat there for a while. It just sat in my collection, never bothered watching it. I'm like, you know what? Let me watch this now, see how this is. And this is the pretty much a documentary on going to horror conventions. I thought that was pretty badass. I saw this a long time ago, before there was a horror convention near me. I'm like, oh, there's got to be one sometime down the road, and lo and behold, Scarecon happened. It's got some cool interviews. Got one with Gunnar Hansen there, rest in peace. So it's pretty cool that he's in this. You have a bunch of other interviews with all different types of people at specific cons, and how people act. You get people who are being interviewed, conventioners, people who work at the convention, people who work at the desk, you know, all this weird shit. But it's actually really well done. I love how this looks like Halloween with the camera turning into the weird pumpkin. So yeah, Unconventional, if you can find it, highly recommend it. Number 3 is our Dario Argento, An Eye for Horror. If you're a big fan of Argento films or giallo type movies, this is definitely a must own in the collection. Again, here you have people getting interviewed working with Argento. There's pictures, some video working that. Right here you have clips of his films, interviews again with Argento, his daughter Asia, John Carpenter, Alice Cooper, bunch of others. It's just really well done. So guys, if you can find this, I highly recommend checking out Dario and Eye for Horror, especially again if you're into giallos and everything. Good watch. Number 2 is Creature Feature, 60 Years of the Gill Man. So this is pretty much a whole documentary of Creature from the Black Lagoon. Again, I think this one is out of print, but you can try to find this on Amazon or eBay. Yeah, keep looking. This one is about a guy who is fascinated with the creature. He interviews other people who are fascinated with the creature from the Black Lagoon. There's actually a convention that's about the creature. I forgot what they called it and where it was. And of course right here is you can get this one. Ben Chapman, who played the original. He died just after this documentary was made. So they actually got him interviewed. They actually interviewed the other dude who played the creature, the water part. I forgot his name already. Yeah. I can't believe I forgot it off the time here or not. But they had both of them for the first time together ever meeting, supposedly. And that was kind of neat. You got people getting interviewed at the convention. You get to see people's collections, all about creature. Fantastic documentary. If you can find it, highly recommend it. And number 1, I watched for the first time today again. I liked it, and that is Adjust Your Tracking. I love that artwork. Again, this is another VHS collector documentary. Hopefully someday they'll do a DVD one. I know Blu-ray's too new for a documentary on Blu-ray, but I kind of like to see a documentary on DVD collecting. That would be kind of cool. DVD's starting to fade out a little bit, but not much of a fade out. Probably because VHS is fading, but of course it's regaining its momentum again. But Adjust Your Tracking was pretty badass. 2-disc interviews with people who are collectors. This guy right here is on YouTube. He does his little section on it, and I'm like surprised how much VHS is out there, films I never even heard of. I forgot his YouTube channel. I'm subbed to it. I forgot what it was. Something ancient, something horror. I forgot. Shit. I'll have to look it up later and put it in the comment section down below. But again, Lloyd frickin' Kaufman is in every single documentary again. That dude. He loves the shit. But again, everything on VHS collecting is pretty badass. Some films I never heard of or seen. These people find it. It's really cool. Definitely check out Adjust Your Tracking. And of course, there's tons of other documentaries out there, people. I suggest grabbing them and watching them. They're fun to watch. Again, get the little education knowledge about collecting or how videos occurred, or based on directors or different films or anything like that. It's a fun way to get educated in the movie collecting aspect. I love watching documentaries. I did a back-to-back today, which was a lot of fun, so highly recommend it, guys. Hopefully I'll probably do a part 3 down the road, because there's so many more I need to grab. Alright guys, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed part 2. If you want, recheck my first one I did. It's in my playlist of my top 10 Tuesdays. That's under the horror documentaries of other ones. So check it out, guys. Thanks very much for watching, and have yourself a good night. Later. Peace.